Yo, what's up guys? Coach NickyT here. And I got a really in-depth video for you right now. We're gonna pull back the curtain. I'm gonna really dive into how I made over $1 million on my first book, why it was my number one and still is my number one marketing lead source, and why it should be for you as well. So why should you write a book? Who should write a book? That's what I'm gonna cover right now. Like you and I right now, get a pen and a notepad. This is a real, just candid conversation, guys. I'm sitting here working, just mapped out that badass sales funnel. The sales funnel landed 38 grand last week for one of our clients. I got my puppy dog right there, and it's just you and I having a really candid conversation, okay? So if you wanna learn a next level marketing strategy from a marketer, a brand right here who's telling you, in this video right now, I'm going to share with you how I turn this into $1 million sales funnel. Stick around. I get there's a lot of content out there, but if you want like a real video that is my number one marketing strategy that I'm actively doing, that's what we're gonna unpack. So let's do it. So why a book? Why did I write a book? Why have I written a second book? And why should you write a book as well? There's a real statistic the real statistic, less than 1% of the world will ever write a book. 99% won't. So what does that mean? You have competition out there for your brand, right? When I wrote my first book, I was a real estate agent. I was the CEO of a real estate company. So I wanted to stand out. And nonetheless, I was in Phoenix, Arizona, where everybody's a freaking realtor. There's like 70,000 real estate agents. And so I wanted to stand out. Well, knowing the stat that less than 1% of people will ever write a book. And then secondly, a lot of times you know more than your competition. So I was trying to find an avenue to share that. See, here's the thing. Anybody can stage a photo shoot and look good, right? Anybody with an iPhone can record a TikTok, 3 reasons why, and throw some captions on it. To be a true expert, Malcolm Gladwell says it's the 10,000 hour rule, meaning you had to have invested 10,000 hours into your craft. To me, I fell in love with that concept because I knew in real estate when I wrote this, I had been at this a decade and sold like 1,500 houses, right? If you're watching this and you've been at your craft for years, you've invested the time. Nobody can touch that. Nobody can touch what you've learned, what you've been through, your apprenticeship, your knowledge, your skill set, right? So taking that up into a book automatically makes you stand out. See, for me, it was the ultimate mic drop because I'm like, no, dude, not only am I good at what I do, I've published and written a book about it. Does that make sense? Now, how do I learn? How have you learned? I've learned from books my whole life. And this is the sweet spot of why I'm hardcore about this becoming your number one marketing strategy. I learned from books. I'm a community college dropout. Okay, I lasted 3 fine semesters. I didn't have money to go to a big school, don't come from money, didn't go to like an Ivy League school. So I've learned a lot from books. And when you read a book, you're reading somebody's story, their life, their strategies, their tips, and you're literally building rapport and trust with that person in an asset. It's not like when I'm reading a book in my reading chair, it's not like that person's sitting in their living room with me or in my living room, right? They've packaged up their knowledge and I'm learning from their story. I'm getting to know who they are and that's building trust with me. Does that make sense? The same is true with your book. So what happens when you write a book is it becomes an asset. So I wrote this to share tips, strategies with homeowners. And here's the sweet thing is you share this up front. You give away your knowledge up front and people learn about who you are, what you do, your methodology, and they're more likely to want to use your product or service. And so what happened to me was we would send out the book up front to a potential homeowner, okay, as a real estate agent, very simple analogy. They would either read it or not, but it was a good packaging tool, had some testimonials on it. They were more likely to show up for the appointment and keep that appointment. And they were more likely to hire me. And once we wrote the book, actually my conversions doubled. This is like a real statistic. My conversions doubled because they're like, dude, of course I want to work with the published author versus some rinky-dink realtor, right? And so it wasn't all at night. It was over a few years. We turned this into $1 million sales funnel, which was really cool. And the process was mail the book out up front and different story, different day. But that is exactly what happened. Now, why it's my number one marketing lead source now is we just wrote a brand new book. Guys, in the past 9 days, I've generated, I just looked at 154 new leads off of this book. What that means is we have a funnel going on right now. You can go there right now. It's scale8book.com. And people will give me their name, email address, and phone number, leads. All business owners need what to thrive? We all need leads, lead gen. You're like, holy crap, this makes sense. So I'm giving them a copy of my brand new book. This is 190 pages, jam-packed with what? My information. My strategies. Wait, the guy that wrote a book, 8 phases to 8 figures, must have had to make 8 figures? Yeah. So what happens, guys, is people will get this book. We're giving away the digital copy for free. I just handed out 100 physical copies last week. And people read this. I got a text this morning. Hey brother, reading the book. Man, chapter 3 is a banger. Yeah, so here's the concept for you. You take your ideas, your knowledge, your expertise, and you package it up. You send it to potential dream clients up front. They read it. They build trust. They build rapport with you, and then they're more likely to take you up on your product or service. And where things get really fun, like we're doing right now, we have a paid ads campaign. We have a Facebook ads campaign. So I've said, hey, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, take my book, Scale, and a picture of me doing this, right? Put this in front of more business owners. And I think it's $100 per day. And we're getting, like I said, 154 new people into my funnel, into my world. Those are potential clients. And that's why this is my number one marketing strategy and why I believe in this for other authors. So check this out, guys. We've written, helped all of these brands write and publish books because they understand what I've taught them this strategy. If I lost everything and had to build a brand from scratch, what would I do? I'd write a book. That's it. And I'm not only telling you that from theory, I'm telling you that from somebody that started a new brand 6 months ago and wrote a new book. And guess what? Thousands of books sold since, a bunch of sales, we've generated some revenue, a bunch of buzz. What's cool too, and like this is the real conversation, is once you get published on your subject, people want to have you on stage to speak. People want to have you on their podcast. You can we're turning this into an online course. It gives you credibility. Why? Because it's rare that somebody will write a book. So I'm here telling you today, as a marketing and branding coach, you need to write a book. And I'm here as a friend saying, yo bro, I wrote a book and it worked out really, really well for me. Actually, that's how I helped our very first author ever write a book. So check this out, this is really cool. This is my dear friend, Coach Nate Palmer. Nate's a personal trainer. Nate was a trainer in the gym that I went to, okay? And Nate had heard I wrote a book, and Nate was just this big buff dude. He's become one of my closest friends. And I was working out in the gym, and he said, hey, you're that guy that wrote the book, right? I said, yeah. And he goes, hey, man, I need some marketing help. Could we go to lunch? We sat down for lunch, and he said, hey, what do I do? I said, brother, I love you. You should write a book. And I said, you're knowledgeable about what you teach, right? He goes, yeah. And I think you can really get this analogy. He goes, yeah, I'm really good at what I go, clearly you are. You look fit. I mean, he's jacked, right? And I said, and there's a lot of competition for personal trainers. Agreed? He goes, yeah. And especially online? He's like, yeah. I said, write a book. It'll automatically take all of these guys and make you stand out with that credibility. And what happened? Nate started booking speech. So he wrote Passport Fitness, and then he followed that up with $1 Million Body. He sold thousands of these things, but people reach out to him then to speak on stages. He's spoken on my stage. They reach him out to be on their podcast as well because he's now a trusted authority on the subject. This is why I'm recording this video for you. If you're great at what you do and you've invested the 10,000 hours, it is time for you to write a book. The time it takes to write a book is not what you think, guys. I wrote this in 9 days. I'm pretty talented. It's my program, different story, different day. But for most of our authors, you can have the whole thing done, start to finish. Crystal, a real estate agent, she did this in less than 60 days. And I'm talking an hour a day, 3 or 4 days per week. So how long does it take to write a book? About the time it would take you to go to the gym each day. Most people go to the gym for 30, 45 minutes. So what I tell all of our authors is 3 or 4 days per week, 30, 45-minute jam sessions, and you add that up over a couple months, you'll have a book written and published. And it's something not only that has impacted my life, I believe in it, I teach it, I'm very outspoken about it. You know, as a business coach, guys, I don't just start coaching people in theory, I coach them on things that I've done. And I want to help you write and publish a book. So here's what that looks like. I have a program, there's a course now, it's called The Triumphant Author. So we give you access to the online course and then our twice-a-week coaching calls. I have a publishing team for you in place, book cover, editing, formatting, all of it, start to finish. And I can help you publish a book in less than 2 months. If you've truly wanted to blow up your brand, just see my eyes on this. There's nothing that has impacted my brand more. And I've done a lot. I've been on stages with Ed Milet. Like I've thrown big ass conferences. I've spoken with Brad Lee and Sean Whalen. Like I've been on big stages. I've had big podcasts. We've done a lot of that really cool stuff. There's not anything that has touched my brand more or impacted it than the book. It's an asset, guys. It's crazy. I want to help you build this asset into your business, but more importantly, I want to guide you through the journey and then help you package that up to go land your dream customers. Program's super affordable, and I'd be honored to help you. So here's the first step for you. Let's hop on a call. There's a button right below me for you to schedule a one-on-one chat with me. It's free, nothing to be sold unless you want to learn more about the program. I'll chat about your business, your brand. We'll get to know you, see if writing a book would be a good fit for you. You can ask me any question you have about the cost, the time frame. Should you write a book? What's the sales funnel look like? I'm here as I call it, a Sherpa up the book writing mountain, right? Like you want to go hike Everest, they got a Sherpa that's been up. Guys, I've not only been up and down that mountain, ooh, there we go. I'm getting jacked now. I've done it twice for myself. I just wrote this a few months ago, but I've done it for all of these brands right here as well. It's pretty powerful. It's truly my life's greatest honor helping you package your brand up and build an authority brand, and I would be honored to chat with you more about it. You have nothing to lose, everything to gain. Let's write a book. Let's blow up your brand. But let me just leave you with this. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. And if you've been aimlessly posting on Instagram and then running to TikTok and then running to Facebook and trying to hack the algorithm and you're not getting the results that you want, you're gonna have to do something different. Now for you, it could be a lot of other things. You could start a podcast, run a paid ads campaign. There's a lot of ways to grow your business. Run some, you name it, right? But if you want to look at writing a book, I'm telling you right now, it's the one thing that's been the catalyst for my business. I wanna help make this dream a reality for you, but you gotta be willing to put in some work too. If that's you, tap that button and schedule a call, and then I personally will be calling you. I call you from a 619 number. I live in San Diego. I'm a surfer here, so you get a call from me. I'm going to chat about you. Not everybody's a good fit for the program. Somebody asked me last night, he said, who's a good fit for the program? I said, a brand that I believe in, that I can help, because I got to put my stamp on you, and I got to coach you one-on-one. So you got to know your stuff inside and out. You got to be super loving, super caring, want to make an impact, and be really knowledgeable at what you teach. This isn't for somebody that just started yesterday. It's why I love it. It's for somebody that's invested the time, invested the 10,000 hours into your craft. And I honor and respect you for taking the time to do that. That's how you become a one percenter. That's how you write a book, and I'd be honored to help you. All right, guys, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.